Wayne Thiebaud is an American painter who is most well known for his bright and cheerful paintings of sweets, such as cakes, ice cream cones, and lollipops. He is associated with the pop art movement. I love taking a look at some of the variety of different styles of decoration that each of these cakes have. Once you get started on your paper, let's begin with the end in mind, making our own symmetrical tiered cake. So I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to start dividing it up, and I fold it just to help me draw some guidelines so that my cake fits onto this piece of paper. Once it's been divided in half, symmetrical balance is something that I'm going for. So that fold line that's down in the center, I'm trying to use that as a visual guide to help me as I begin making my cake stand and each of my cake layers on top. So you'll notice that bottom quarter is for the cake stand. The second quarter is for the first layer of cake, the next layer of cake, and finally that top section can be used to draw the top of my cake. Now that I've got my stacked layers of cake, I'm going to go ahead and use my pencil to start designing it and decorating any kind of cake designs that I want. You can use the handout for some ideas to help you get started, but by all means, feel free to draw your own designs and decorations onto your painted cake project as well. Once I'm finished drawing, I'm going to take a Sharpie and outline all of the designs so you can see it better. Now that I'm finished outlining in Sharpie, I'm going to grab some tempera cakes and some water and begin by painting my project. I'm going to fill in all of the white spaces that I created into my interesting designs. The cool thing about using these tempera cakes is it allows you to change colors relatively quickly, and also when you start painting, you'll notice that I can paint the whole thing one color. I'm going to let that aside to dry and come back with oil pastels to make those designs stand out even more. So I'm going to go ahead and finish painting right now, set that aside to dry, and come back to make those details and those designs and those decorations stand out even more. So let's again set that aside to dry. Now that that's drying, you can go ahead back to your handout, and on the back side you'll find some ideas of shapes that you can draw for flowers. I wanted to show you when I drew my shapes, I'm cutting through 2 pieces of paper so that it'll save me time and I don't need to draw every single flower out. By taking 2 pieces of paper, you can make multiples of flowers at once. Once you've done that, grab those oil pastels and make them not so flat looking. So I just grabbed my pastels and I'm adding more color to the construction paper just to make it a little bit more interesting and show variety so that, again, my project doesn't look so flat. With just one color, it just looks very boring to look at. So I just wanted to add some flair and just add some color into the project just so that it becomes a more realistic looking project. I like the way these flowers look so much better than them just being so flat looking. I like my painting, but I like it more when I add oil pastel designs. You know, oil pastels are kind of like a paint stick. They show up so much brighter and more beautiful and makes that flat painting look more 3D. It gives it more visual contrast. It makes it more interesting. So bright colors against a muted paint. It just makes the colors really stand out and pop. So even though everything's been outlined, I just feel like one more coat of oil pastel can make this project from just okay to really fascinating with those different colors and different designs that you could add to your cake. Once I'm done, I'll go ahead and cut that out, glue it to a piece of construction paper, and put my finishing touches into my project. I love the way this looks. Beautiful flowers or candles or candy or whatever you made onto a beautiful project. I felt like after I finished the project, I wanted to take my flowers off and really outline it with a black pastel just so that it stands out and pops out a little bit better, has a little bit more contrast, and I feel like this way it turned out better. This is what it looked like before the black pastel. This is what it looked like outlined in black. I don't know. I kind of like it outlined in black best. It's up to you. Thanks, everybody.